He's Will Scott. I'm Harrison Graham. You are watching College Football Now. And on today's show, potential replacements for Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss if he were to leave for Auburn or any other job if something else came up for Kiffin. There's been a lot of rumors. He's shut down those rumors on social media, but it's college football carousel, Will. You know these things can change in a hurry.
I don't know if I would say shut down. He's just kind of playing along with him. He's trolling. So we'll see what happens. There was that report from John Sokoloff. I guess that's how you pronounce his name, saying that Lane Kiffin was.
I don't think that's how you pronounce his name.
We're just gonna roll with it.
It's close enough.
That he was going to Auburn, but we'll see what happens. Got the Egg Bowl Thursday.
Let's get through 10 candidates here. At number 10, bring him back, coming home, Hugh Freeze, the head coach at Liberty, who obviously had a good run at Ole Miss, and then he had a little too much fun with some strippers. I don't think this is likely, Will, but we wanted to include him here.
Right. Outside of Lane Kiffin, maybe we haven't seen a coach recently at Ole Miss have that level of success. He had a really good run there. Beat Nick Saban
twice.
Yeah.
Back-to-back years, yep. So we'll see what Hugh's future looks like. I don't think it'll be Ole Miss, but we wanted to include him. At number 9, Dan Lanning. I think he would be a higher candidate on Ole Miss's list. But I think it's a lateral move if you're Dan Lanning. I know there's some Pac-12 concerns about the future, but Oregon is a top 3 Pac-12 program. And when USC leaves, a top 2, if not the best Pac-12 program, versus middle-of-the-pack SEC program stuck in a loaded SEC West. I know Dan Lanning was the Georgia defensive coordinator just last year when Georgia won the national title. But if I'm Lanning, I'm not leaving Eugene for Oxford.
No shot. And the grass is not always greener, right? That's what he said a few weeks ago when he was linked to the Auburn job. And Dan Lanning's done a great job already at Oregon. He's in a really good spot there with already a decent amount of job security. And it's a great job over there on the West Coast, Pacific Northwest. So I would stay at Oregon.
You got that Nike money as well. I think Oregon is a good spot for Lanning. Will Lane Kiffin leave for Ole Miss? That's really the question. Or leave Ole Miss for Auburn, I should say. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. You have a gut feeling on this? You think he leaves?
Before yesterday, I would have said yes, but after the social media activity,
those tweets, he would look pretty fraudulent if he left. But we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Why, if anyone can get away with it, it's Lane Kiffin. Y for yes or N for no.
He is definitely hopped schools pretty quickly before. Tennessee.
If they throw him a Jimbo Fisher type of contract, it'd be hard to turn down.
I don't know if anyone's going to offer a Jimbo Fisher type of deal again. When you consider what A&M is locked into right now.
Disaster. At number 8, we got Matt Campbell, the Iowa State head coach, who I still like, but I think his stock is definitely down compared to what it was, say, 2 years ago when they won the Fiesta Bowl. They've lost countless one-score games the past 2 seasons. I think Iowa State has been a better team than their record suggests, but at some point you are what your record says you are. 4-7 this year. I think they went 6-6 last year, so I think he could be a secondary candidate. I don't think he'd be at the top of the list, though.
Yeah, his value's definitely gone down a little bit. He'll still be linked to some jobs that we see come open in the next couple of weeks, but he's not getting the same amount of hype that he was a year or two ago.
Exactly. At number 7, bit of a curveball. How about Kliff Kingsbury? Listen, things are potentially blowing up in Arizona in the NFL for the Cardinals. They just got waxed on Monday Night Football by the 49ers. I get it, no Kyler Murray, but they're 3-7 now. There was offseason drama with, is he going to get a new contract extension? He did. Are they going to sign Kyler Murray? They did, and it's not going well. So could Kliff either get fired or choose to return to the college game? I don't think he would do it choosingly, but if he does get canned, I do think college jobs would be interested, and I think going from Lane Kiffin to Kliff Kingsbury from an offensive philosophy isn't that big of a shift. Now, can he recruit to the same level? Can he get the support staff around him that Lane has? That's a different question, but similar minds, if you will, when it comes to playing offensive football.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'll be interesting to see the interest that he gets if and when he gets fired by the Arizona Cardinals. Could he be an OC in the NFL? Could he be a college head coach, maybe even a college OC? Yep. Keep in mind, after he was fired at Texas Tech, he was hired to be the offensive coordinator at USC.
He failed upward.
Exactly, and then he gets the Arizona Cardinals job. But I think Ole Miss might be a decent fit if he were to go back to college, where he was a losing head coach at Texas Tech. That's worth noting.
At number 6, Garrett Riley. I think this is a name people should familiarize themselves with. The younger brother of Lincoln Riley. He's calling plays for TCU, who's got a top 10 offense this year, really good passing and running offense, balanced. Obviously, TCU's undefeated. I've watched this team all year. He's a good play caller. And he's got the Riley name, Will. Teams are going to be interested in that very, very soon. And, again, similar style of offense that a Lane Kiffin would run. Not scared to run the football. This is not like a pure air raid. They run the football a lot, plays to his personnel. I don't know if he'd get an SEC head coaching job after 1 year as TCU's play caller, but if they go 13-0, make the CFP, teams might be interested pretty soon.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely going to get some interest here when you're talking about these coaching vacancies. Now, would Ole Miss want to hire an offensive coordinator from a Big 12 school with no head coaching experience?
It's a leap.
I'm not sure.
It's definitely a leap. Before we get to the top 5, shout out to Established Titles for sponsoring today's episode of College Football Now. And do you want to become a lord or a lady, add that title to your name? Well, you can with Established Titles, as they are a fun and novel way to preserve the natural woodlands of Scotland while helping global reforestation efforts. This project is based on a historic Scottish custom where landowners are referred to as lairds or lords and ladies in English. Title packs give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land with the unique plot number on a private estate in Edelston, Scotland, which you can actually go visit, and you'll receive an official certificate with a crest. We plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, to support those global reforestation efforts. You could officially then add the title of Lord or Lady on your credit card, your plane ticket, your dating profile, social media accounts, etc. It makes for a great last-minute gift this holiday season. The first 200 people purchasing a title pack using our link will effectively be next to me and Will Scott's plot of land, as we have now become lords as well. Your plot would be within walking distance of ours. You want to become a lord or lady? We could start our own chat sports kingdom here in Scotland. It makes for an amazing last-minute gift, like I mentioned. Established Titles has their holiday sale going on right now with deals up to 80% off, and we're going to throw you an extra 10% off with promo code CHAT. Go to establishedtitles.com/chat. Use the promo code CHAT. Get a good deal. It's a great white elephant gift, by the way, this holiday season. Go check it out. Top 5, Will. How about Jamey Chadwell? Listen, what he's done at Coastal Carolina is one of the more underappreciated things, I think, of the last 4 or 5 years in college football. They're winning 8, 9, 10 games a year. He's developing talent. Regionally, is it the perfect fit? I don't know, but he's surely an up-and-comer that deserves a shot at a Power 5 gig at some point.
I agree. I mean, you look at the last 3 years, 11-1, 11-2, and now they're 9-1. What he's done at Coastal, completely turning that program around. Yeah, he's a winner. I really like him, and we saw Billy Napier make the jump from Sun Belt head coach to SEC head coach when he took the Florida job. It's been done recently.
And the Florida job's a bigger job than Ole Miss, by the way.
Yeah, so it could happen.
So it's not a crazy reach. How about Matt Rhule? I think as of today, as we film this, November 29th, November 30th, Matt Rhule's probably the favorite to land the Nebraska job. But if Ole Miss opens up or another SEC job like Auburn is interested, I think Matt Rhule would entertain that. Now, he's more of a tear it down, build it up type of guy. Like Nebraska makes sense for him because he likes to install his culture, kind of gut the program and start it over. Ole Miss doesn't need gutting. Like if Lane Kiffin leaves, there's sheep in the stables there. Like they've got good players, they got good recruits coming in. It's an SEC program that's been winning 8+ games for a few years now. But we know he's a good college head coach. Will he's going to garner some interest?
Yeah, obviously a lot of people are going to look at this name and be like, I don't want him because he was a disaster with the Carolina Panthers. But he did a great job at Temple, did a great job at Baylor. I think he's going to make a good college head coach once again.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Subscribe to Chat Sports, college football playoff rankings from here on out. Every single week, Will and I go live to react to what the committee does. 2 more of those next Tuesday and then the following Sunday after Championship Saturday. Coaching hot boards like this one are going to heat up as jobs start to open up. And the transfer portal opens soon. Recruiting is heating up with signing day in December. So stick with us. Subscribe. Don't miss any of our college football coverage. Let's get to the top 3 here. I think Deion Sanders has to be in the mix for really any of these jobs that open up. He is worth interviewing at the very least. He's a culture changer. He is innovative. I think in a world of NIL, he's someone that makes a lot of sense. And in a new era of college football where players have more say, they can transfer, they can get NIL money, they like players' coaches. That is what Deion is. He's an NFL superstar. He's primetime. Players can relate to this guy, Will. He's going to get one of these jobs eventually. I don't know which one it's going to be, but he's going to get one of them.
I mean, you look at what Jackson State has done. Right now, they're undefeated, one of the highest-ranked FCS programs right now. So he's been fantastic at Jackson State. I think he deserves an FBS opportunity. Now, he has been in talks, apparently, with Colorado and South Florida. If I'm Deion, I'm not taking either of those jobs. I'm waiting for a better job like Ole Miss to come open.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a better job. When I saw that report, I was like, maybe you could talk me into South Florida. That's his home state, but I don't know. I would wait if I was Deion as well. We can go to number 2 here. Luke Fickell, the head coach at Cincinnati. He seems like a Big Ten guy to me, but he would be one of the first guys I would call if I was Ole Miss. He's just like Mr. Steady. You look at him on the sideline, he stays calm. The guy, even in a down year this year, they're 9-2, and they're on the cusp of the New Year's Six. And that's after losing Desmond Ridder, Sauce Gardner, Kobe Bryant, a couple NFL receivers, Alec Pierce, who's balling out with the Colts. Like, they lost a ton of talent, and they're still going to win 10 games this year. Like, he's a hell of a coach. I think he'd rather take a Big Ten job. Like, if Nebraska came calling, that could be more appealing to him, or Wisconsin if they don't go with Jim Leonhard. But if I'm Ole Miss, I would absolutely call Luke Fickell. I mean, the guy's a really good coach, and I think he would fit in well in the SEC.
Yeah, he's fantastic. What he's done with Cincinnati led them to the college football playoff last year, the first group of 5 team to make the college football playoff. I kind of thought he was going to get the Notre Dame job last year when Brian Kelly stepped away, but then Marcus Freeman got promoted either the day after or about a week later or so. So we'll see what happens with Fickell. I don't know if there's a job that's come open yet that makes a lot of sense for him, though.
At number 1, Gus Malzahn. Listen, he wouldn't be my top candidate, but he's coached in the SEC for a long time at Auburn, a similar-ish program to Ole Miss. He runs a fun offense. He knows the SEC. And he's beaten Bama 3 times. And you got to go through Bama to win the SEC West more often than not. So I think he's gettable. I think he's realistic. And I think he'd be a solid candidate. I don't think it would be an A-plus hire, but I think this would be like a solid B-plus. Like, if you lose Lane Kiffin and get Gus Malzahn, I don't think you're like just dreading it if you're Ole Miss. I think you feel pretty good about him as a stabilizer, as he's done pretty solid so far at UCF as well.
And he did solid at Auburn. He had a bunch of
went to a national title game.
Yeah, exactly. Went to a national title game his first year. After that, a lot of 8 and 9 win seasons, which at Auburn, that might not cut it. At Ole Miss, they're going to be happy with winning consistently 8 or 9 games.
Yeah, which is why I've said if I'm Lane, I would just stay put. They're not going to fire him anytime soon. Auburn, you don't get it done in 2 or 3 years, they just proved to us they will fire you. Brian Harsin didn't even get 2 seasons. So, that's where we're at. We'll see what Lane Kiffin does. Those are some candidates that could be in the mix if Lane were to leave, as you look at the top 5 there. Chadwell, Rhule, Sanders, Fickell, and Malzahn. Now, who will be the Ole Miss head coach to start next season? It could obviously still be Lane Kiffin. What do you guys think? I'm going to stay Lane Kiffin. Will, I know he's the ultimate, like, you'd never know what he's going to do, but those tweets, you come out and you call out a guy for having bad sources, tweet about the Egg Bowl, and then leave for Auburn, that would be kind of a not great look. But Lincoln Riley left it a shady way last year, so we've certainly seen it. Thoughts?
I think he's staying at Ole Miss.
All right, I think
do.
so.
But it's Lane Kiffin.
You never know. Let us know who you guys think will be Ole Miss's coach to start next year.